What's up guys, Patty McButterpants here, coming at you with another video in Ark Survival Evolved. So as of January 2017, there is no creative mode for Ark, but I'm going to show you how to make one based on what your settings are like. So down here we'll go to host/local. Up here in the top left hand corner, create new periodically generated Ark is basically you can set Ark to create a unique map based on some specifications that you make when going in here. So you can create land masses to be larger or smaller, have more water, that sort of thing by whatever settings you make in here. The two maps that come with Ark are the Ark and the Center. Scorched Earth is a DLC. So over here on the right you'll see general, rules, world stats, and more. These things look kind of confusing to new-time players, so that's why I'm making this video. Over here, the dino damage, the higher the number here, the more damage that you'll get from dinosaurs. Now you can slide this left or right to move the number around, or you can select this box and go in here and put whatever number in you want. So just remember on this one, the higher the number, the higher the damage are from dinos. Here, the higher the number, the higher the damage are from players. The higher the number here in structure damage, the higher the damage structures deal. Player resistance I have set to 0 so that you can basically resist anything. You can jump off mountains, you can fist fight T-Rexes. I have that set to 0, so the lower the number here, the more resistance players have. Same with dino resistance. The lower the number here, the more resistance a dino can take. But keep in mind, when selecting this one, that dino resistance doesn't necessarily mean only your dinosaur. It means the world's dinosaurs as well. So it's going to be hard to tame a dinosaur that can resist any amount of damage you give it. So keep that at 1. Structure resistance. Now here at structure resistance, the lower the number, the more resistance a structure has. So if you're worried about people destroying your base, lower the number on this one. The XP multiplier, the higher the number, the more experience a player receives. So that's why I have that set to 100. The taming speed, the higher the number here, the faster you'll tame a dinosaur. So if you're tired of waiting around for dinosaurs to be tamed, increase this number and you'll tame them lickety-split. Now the structure damage repair cooldown, I don't know why I have this set to 180, but here the higher the number, the longer you have to wait before repairing a structure. But I don't have to worry about structures being torn down by enemies because I'm playing single player on creative mode, so that doesn't really matter. Dino turret damage is exactly what it sounds like, the amount of damage that dinosaurs take from turret. Increase the number here, you increase the damage. Dino harvesting damage, increase the number here, you increase the damage that dinosaurs do when they're harvesting. You take a dinosaur to knock down a tree, it'll take 1 hit instead of a couple. Up in the top right we have harvest amount. The higher the number here, the higher the amount of materials you will gain from gathering resources. Player character water drain and player character food drain I have set to 0 so you don't have to worry about consuming food or water. Lower the number here, the less chance you'll have to go get a drink of water or eat something. Dino character food drain, I have that set to 0.6. I wouldn't really mess with that too much. If it's at 1, just leave it at 1, because if you lower this one to 0, yes, your tame dinosaurs won't have to worry about eating, but then you won't be able to tame dinosaurs either, because if you lower this to 0, they won't get hungry and they won't eat the food that you place in their inventory when you're trying to tame them. Here, the player character stamina drain I have set to 0 so I don't have to worry about my character running out of stamina. So the lower the number on the stamina drains here on the dinos and on the player, the lower the number, the less chance that your character or your dinosaur will run out of stamina. Player character health recovery and dino character health recovery have set to 100 so that I regain my health lickety-split. Player harvesting damage, I have set that set to 6 so that when I am tearing down trees it takes me 1 hit instead of 20 or 50. Now you won't have to worry about rules when you're making your own creative mode in Ark. This is for when you're hosting a server. You can go in here and adjust these. The world you will have to worry about. The day cycle speed. If you increase the number here, the faster one day will cycle through. And if you increase the number on the daytime speed or the nighttime speed, the faster the day will go through or the faster the night will go through. So I have this set to 0.1 because I want my daytime speed to be longer. I have this set to 10 so that the nighttime will speed through faster. Spoiling time I have set to 50 because the higher the number here, the longer you'll have for spoil time. So if you have a piece of meat that you want to get cooked, instead of having 5 minutes, you'll have 5 days. Item decomposition time. I have item decomposition and corpse decomposition time set to 0.3 so that when I kill a dinosaur or when I throw objects out of my inventory that I don't want anymore, that they will decomp faster. So the lower the number here, the faster that those items will decompose. I don't want there to be a bunch of boxes lying around near my base creating lag issues if I'm just throwing those items out. Alright, so the no resource radius for players and for structures here. The higher the number here, the further distance away resources will begin to grow. So I have this set to 0.1 so that resources will go around my player and my structures normally. If I increase this to 10, it will be a distance 10 times greater away from my structure or away from my player that resources will begin to grow. So I just leave that alone, keep that at 1. Crop growth speed, increase that. I put that at 20 so that my crops will grow faster. And I put that to 0.01 so that my crops will decay at a slower speed. Increase this to grow your crops faster and lower this number so that your crops will decay slower. Baby imprinting multiplier, I increase that. Increase this number here to increase your multiplier. Poop interval, increase this number here to increase the speed at which you and your dinosaurs poop. That could be useful for when you're trying to make fertilizer. Lay egg interval. So the lay egg interval and the mating interval, the lower the numbers on these two, the faster your animals will lay eggs and the faster your animals will mate again. The egg hatch speed and the baby mature speed I have increased to 250 because I want my eggs to hatch fast and I want my babies to mature fast. I don't want to wait around for those things. Baby food consumption speed. I kept that at 1 so that babies will consume speed at a normal rate because you have to hand feed them. So if you increase this number, consumption speed, you'll have to feed them faster. And if you run out of meat, your animal's going to die. Harvest health, leave that alone. You don't have to worry about that at all. Resource respawn period. I want my resources to come back as fast as possible, so I lowered this number. If you increase this number, it'll take longer time for your resources to respawn. Baby cuddle interval multiplier. So I lowered the number here because I want the interval to be smaller. I want to wait less time to be able to get that multiplier. The baby cuddle grace period multiplier I have increased to 6 so that I have a longer amount of time to get that multiplier. So if I don't see it right away, I can come get it before the time is passed. Baby cuddle lose imprint quality speed multiplier. You don't have to worry about that. You can put that at 1. Let's go over here to stats. Now the wild dino stats I left alone. You don't really have to worry about the wild dinos, but your dinos I did increase. The torpidity I increased because I want my dinosaurs not to have to worry about getting knocked out by snakes and toads and other animals that have a natural ability to knock out an animal, like scorpions. Some of their stingers and stuff can knock out dinosaurs, and I don't want to have to worry about that. The weight I increased as well because I want my dinosaurs to be able to carry a bunch of weight. And the damage I increased to 10 because I want them to be strong to be able to kill anything at any time. So I increased it over here and increased it over here as well because of the stats. This one on the bottom left is what you get per level when you increase a dinosaur's level. And this is what stats level your dinosaurs increase at. So I increased the same things here: torpidity, weight, and damage. The speed I have set to 5. If you increase the speed on these settings over here, be aware if you have flyers, if you have a pterodactyl, if you have a quetzal, what have you, and you accidentally fall off of it, it's pretty hard to get your character back on the saddle if they're flying at 100 miles an hour, because they fly past you so fast you can't select Y to ride them. Let's go over here to more. Here's your player's stats. My player's torpidity is up, so is the oxygen, so I can swim underwater for longer periods of time, and so is the weight, so I can carry more. Over here, down at the bottom, XP multipliers. I have all these set to 100 because anytime I craft something, anytime I harvest something, anytime I kill something, or anything that the game thinks is generic, my multiplier is increased 100 times fold. So basically, to create your own creative mode here in Ark, that's all you need to worry about. Feel free to pause the screen at any time to copy the stats that I have, and you'll be good to go.